Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. I'm Ali Kaj, and this is We Reflect the Light. This is where we look at current events through the lens of the unsealed scriptures of the Bible. That gives us detailed information on what is taking place in the world today and what is going to take place in the world in the near future from the unsealed scriptures of the Bible. Sisters and brothers, we are at war. Today we're going to be looking through the unsealed scriptures, connecting the scriptures with a person, given using the scripture to identify exactly who each character is. Now, sisters and brothers, we're going to be showing exactly what America has planned to carry out on our nation. Sisters and brothers, we've been given a detailed message from the scriptures. So let's get right into the scriptures and bring to light what our enemies have in store for us and what the scriptures have, let me say it like this, and what the unsealed scriptures has shared with us to make us aware of what our enemies have in store or is attempting to carry out against our nation. Now, sisters and brothers, Exodus chapter 1, verse 9 through 10 states, "Look, he said to his people, the Israelites have become too numerous and too powerful for us. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, or they will increase even more. And if a war breaks out, they may join our enemies, fight against us, and leave the country. So, sisters and brothers, America has been dealing shrewdly with us. However, the unsealed scripture lets us know what their plans are. Now, sisters and brothers, America wants to keep our numbers down, wants to keep us from increasing in numbers. Thinking, knowing that one day we will rise or unify and rise up against them. Them knowing that they consciously are attacking us from every elevated place. Now, sisters and brothers, also here it states that we're going to leave the country. Now, this is shared with us. We're going to rise up against them and leave the country. However, they, America, do not want us, excuse me, sisters and brothers, to leave the country. Now, all right. Now, why is leaving the country stated like that? Now, sisters and brothers, in the scriptures, in the stories, in Exodus, Abram's seed would be enslaved in this strange land for 400 years. Moses in Exodus went to Pharaoh to share with Pharaoh. God shared, let his people go. However, Pharaoh refused to let God's people go, or to let Moses to let God's people go. Now, so they don't want us to go. They don't want us to leave the country. Now, sisters and brothers, let us look at the Abrahamic covenant, and then we'll get into identifying the chief demon, Louis Farrakhan, who is Legion, who is the man of sin, the son of perdition, and we're going to bring give a the knowledge, information that identifies the chief demon, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, that identifies the man of sin, the son of perdition, and show how America is openly attacking our nation to keep us here in America, trying to sell us on taking reparations, to keep us from as to from us seeing our vision and taking our vision and bringing our vision into reality, trying to get us to sell our birthright, which is the Abrahamic covenant, for a measly bowl of soup. Now, sisters and brothers, let's get into it. We let's get into it. Now, we can start here. Now, no, we'll come back to that. Let's the Abrahamic covenant. Now, America is dealing, it shares with us truly. They have a plan to kill us all. The scripture gives us the understanding of their plan, the unsealed scriptures. The messenger of the covenant had shared, has shared through the unsealed scriptures of what America has planned for the original black man and woman here in America. Now, sisters and brothers, the Abraham vision and the Abrahamic covenant gives us a detailed message of what we're going to endure through in this time and for how long. Now, the covenant lets us know, excuse me, the vision lets us know in detail what we will endure through. Now, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. But thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, thou shalt be buried in a good old age. And in the fourth generation they shall come hither again. For the iniquities of the Amorites are not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a flaming torch that passed between these pieces. Now, sisters and brothers, this is a clear, detailed message. Crystal clear. Now, Abram had this vision of his seed going through this horror, a vision of horror. So he's seen his seed go through this time of horror. Now, then God shared with Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be sojourners. That means temporarily staying in a land that is not theirs. This is a temporary stay. And in this land where they're temporarily staying, they will serve the people there. So they will be enslaved in this land where they're temporarily going to be. And they, meaning the people of that land, will afflict them 400 years. So they will be afflicted 400 years by this nation whom they shall serve. Now, And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Now, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. Now, sisters and brothers, that means that is sharing with us that we will be in this land for 400 years being afflicted. Sisters and brothers, America has and is continuously afflicting the original black man and woman 24/7, 365 since we've been here in this land that does not belong to us, in this strange land. Now, the scripture lets us know that we'll be in this land and that nation will be there for 400 years. And that nation whom we serve will be judged. So we'll be in this land. Will the that and that nation will be afflicting us. Then that nation will be judged. And after that nation is judged, we're coming out. We shall come out of that land, of the land of our afflictions, with great substance. And in the fourth generation, after the 400 years, after the judgment of America, or of that nation, which is America, we're going to return hither. Return hither again. Now, sisters and brothers, so this is sharing with us that we are leaving this land of our affliction. Now, what lets us know we're leaving for sure? Verse 18 of the same chapter, Genesis 15. Now, the scripture states, sisters and brothers, in that day, in that God made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Now, sisters and brothers, The land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, is Arabia. Now, God has given Abram seed this land in the same day that Abram had this vision of horror. Now, sisters and brothers, let's go back. This 400-year period. Now, how, well, let me say it like this. Let's just get to the facts. 1619. The 1619 project is the official start date of slavery. So we have 1619 to 2019. That's 400 years. Then 2020 comes in with the plague, which they call COVID. That began the judgment of America. This plague killed the firstborn of America and of the Caucasian nation all over the planet and passed over the original black man and woman on the planet. There was no mass deaths or um, mass um, virus infections in Haiti, Africa, and the World Health Organization has the information available now, sharing with us, sharing with the world that they been, they understood or had the knowledge now to say that the original man and woman was not being affected by this plague or COVID-19. It was passing over them. And we can see that in through the countries that we wasn't social distancing. It didn't go through Haiti, Africa. It wasn't affecting the original black man and woman. And China as well, where they say the plague or virus started at was in Wuhan. And China themselves said they actually threw black people out of the country because they believed that blacks were just carriers and not being affected by the virus or COVID-19, which we know as the plague from the unsealed scriptures. The plague that began the judgment, identified to the world, a sign to the world that the world, America, and the world is under judgment. The judgment began exactly after the 400-year period. 1619 to 2019 and 2020 came in with the plague that killed the firstborn. Now, sisters and brothers, the firstborn, when you hear it, sounds like you're speaking about children. Oh, the firstborn, thinking that that's a child. No, sisters and brothers, the scripture speaks in a way that you have to pay attention to the words. The firstborn, those who are born first are the eldest. The older, the oldest is born first. So it's speaking on the elderly. Now, knowing that it's speaking on the elderly and not a child, it's easy to identify that COVID was directly affecting the Caucasian nations, the Caucasian nations over the planet, and it was specifically affecting the elderly, the firstborn. Now, by the millions, the firstborn, the elderly, were being affected and killed by the plague. Now, sisters and brothers, now that we understand that this is the base of what we are, our nation, are living out. These, this, these scriptures are directly connected to what we're witnessing in the world today. We are that nation. We are Abraham's seed that has been in this strange land and is still in that strange land, being afflicted 24/7, 365. America, sisters and brothers, since 2020, this world has not been the same. We're witnessing America fall as we speak. We're watching America and Britain, the major, the two world powers, of, as well as false Israel. At war, and is being brought down. Now, we're witnessing their reality, the rulers of this world being exposed for who they are, being exposed to the world of their nature. By their actions, we can see what they're about. Now, the world is witnessing this, sisters and brothers. Now, America, Britain, false Israel, and the West has been watching genocide take place in the Middle East. The Middle East in scripture is stated or called, shared that this is heaven. Now, sisters and brothers, this same idea is relayed consistently to us from theologians, churches, it, from the nations. Every one of these nations speak on Arabia, Jerusalem as the holy land of the world. So when you hear heaven, where would heaven be besides a place which even casual speaking in the Western world that they call, the nations call this landmass, the landmass holy. So holy in heaven, the holy land is heaven. Heaven is the holy place, the holy land. Now, sisters and brothers, now America, let's say it like this, we, the original black man and woman, are looked down on by all the nations. Now, let me say it like this. We, as a people, with little to no effort, can prove without a doubt, mathematically, that we are the true seed of Abraham. Sisters and brothers, we can prove that the rulers right now of this world, America, Britain, and false Israel, as well as the dragon, who is the house of Saudi Arabia, are at war with the God's angel, Iran, Iran. Now, sisters and brothers, the world powers of this world as we know it, the rulers of this world, who has been ruling over the nations of the world, all of them have found themselves losing their control over the world and are becoming more angered, more destructive, more violent in trying to hold on to their rule or power. We're witnessing this right now, sisters and brothers. America's judgment is taking place. The judgment of the world is taking place right now. Why God's chosen people are still in the land of their affliction? Now, sisters and brothers, before we are brought out of this land with great substance. Now, sisters and brothers, America, Egypt refuses to let God's people go, refuses to let the original black man and woman go. Sisters and brothers, false Israel has stolen our identity. America and Britain has set up false Israel to keep us from recognizing, from understanding who we are, to block the truth of who we are from us, to keep this religious eschatology that they have conjured up and pushed on the world, to keep the original black man and woman from recognizing that we are the true seed of Abraham. Now, in 1948, false Israel was set up to counter Elijah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's claim that we are the true seed of Abraham. Now, sisters and brothers, we are being brought out of this land of our affliction with great substance. This land who afflicted us is being judged for their affliction of us, God's chosen people. Now, their rulership is coming to a quick end, sisters and brothers. Our rise is their destruction. Now, sisters and brothers, America just their affliction of us. They have been dealing shrewdly trying to undermine our nation, decapitate our nation, destroy our nation. America first has attacked our nation, raped our woman, consistently for hundreds of years, trying to wipe our seed, trying to destroy, trying to get rid of the true seed of Abraham by killing the male and raping our women, having our woman carry their seed. Sisters and brothers. Now, their seed, this seed of the Caucasian white man who we know from the supreme wisdom lessons from Master Farah Muhammad through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has shared with us what, who, and what a devil is. Now, sisters and brothers, America, this Caucasian white man, this devil, has produced a nation of hybrid Caucasian white devils in black skin by the raping, of our woman. Now, sisters and brothers, America, our enemies, have set an open, a hidden enemy amongst our nation. The scriptures call them wolves in sheep's clothing. They're also called in scriptures the chaff and the wheat, meaning that they look like us, they walk like us, they talk like us, but they're not us. They're black in color. However, they do not have our nature and they're not of our bloodline. They don't they're not from our seed. They're from the seed of their devil fathers. Now, sisters and brothers, America has labeled us animals. America has treated us as if we are animals to justify their actions against us as a people, as a nation. Now, sisters and brothers, the scriptures, the unsealed scriptures, lets us know that America has consistently been afflicting our nation. The scripture said to keep our numbers down, to keep us from rising, from trying to keep us from rising. That we're more that we're more powerful than them. Sisters and brothers, America is used all types of warfare against us. America is consistently at war with us, attacking us 24/7, 365. Sisters and brothers, America is attacking our babies, our children through abortion, through food, through vaccines, through viruses that they have shot up in or put into our black males, our brothers, with uh, um, studies. While they were studying our brothers, they were basically watching as our brothers were being contracted, putting these syphilis in our brothers, shooting our male sons up, causing autism at high rates, using their penile system against our sisters and our brothers, locking us up by the millions, bringing drugs into our neighborhoods, keeping us ignorant, taking jobs out of the country, sending them overseas. Sisters and brothers consistently under attack in, from every elevated place. Now, sisters and brothers, this is what the scriptures are sharing with us that we are living through. Now, sisters and brothers, we are in the time of the judgment of America in the world. We're living in the time where we will rise overnight as a mighty army, a mighty nation. We will get our new mind, which is the angel mind. And we will use the 5 pillars of Islam to protect us. We will use our minds to bring in our new reality. Sisters and brothers, this is why we have been consistently under attack. Now, sisters and brothers, there's a blackface devil, a demon, and the scripture shares with us that this blackface demon has the nation of Islam possessed, has our nation possessed. Sisters and brothers, scripture shares with us that this demon name is Legion. And Legion, sisters and brothers, stands for Louis Eugene Grounds. NOI backwards. Now, sisters and brothers, Legion here we have it. Louis Eugene Grounds NOI backwards. This is Louis Farrakhan's father, Percival Clark, who is a Caucasian white man and a Jew from Barbados. Now, sisters and brothers, we have a demonology chart up top. This is scientific, biological fact. This is a fact. A man carries the seed. So if you have let's say it like this, the original man and original woman, you're going to get an original child. Original man and another woman. Other than just say Caucasian or we're going to leave it as it is. Right here is it's a Caucasian or white. Not even going to call her Caucasian, just white. Or whatever it is. The original man is going to produce an original child. It's going to have the original seed from the father. Now, the color can vary how it comes out, what color it is, how white or light the child may be. Now, on the other hand, it's another reason, the same reason that Louis Farrakhan and his student ministers consistently share with you, and the Supreme Wisdom lessons share with us, that Master Fard Muhammad is white in color. However, Master Fard Muhammad is an original man. Why? Because they consistently share that Master Fard Muhammad's father is a original man, is a black man. He's original. So that makes Master Fard Muhammad original. Now, they preach and teach and hold on to that fact. However, when it comes to using that same scientific biological fact, they act like it doesn't apply to Louis Farrakhan. When his father is a Caucasian white man named Percival Clark, who is a Jew from Barbados. Now, his Louis Farrakhan's father's mother and father, Louis Farrakhan, states himself that They're Caucasian, they're Caucasian Jews as well. Sephardic Jews. Now, which makes Louis Farrakhan the seed of his Caucasian white grandfather, the seed of his father's, his Caucasian white father's, Percival. Louis Farrakhan is a seed of his father, making him a white Caucasian in the skin tone of his mother, in black skin. So he has a black, his skin came out black. So he has color in him. However, he's the seed of his father. Now, sisters and brothers, Legion is what the scripture share with it. Now, sisters and brothers, America has a plan to attack us all, to get rid of us. Now, the scripture said, let us deal shrewdly with them. Sisters and brothers, America has a trap set. Now, we're going to bring a clear understanding of what the scripture is sharing. Now, sisters and brothers, false Israel, America has set false Israel up. Britain and America has set false Israel up and gave them our identity. So, false Israel, sisters and brothers, are going to be destroyed first to remove that religious eschatology and the lie that false Israel is God's chosen people. Now, sisters and brothers, America knows that when false Israel is destroyed, that we will wake up and rise overnight. That we, the original black man and woman, will know without a shadow of a doubt, admitting that we are the true seed of Abraham. And we're going to rise overnight. Now, sisters and brothers, let's get into what the scriptures are sharing. What America laws are sharing how the laws, the scriptures, and reality is all sharing what the unsealed scriptures are sharing with us, what the plan is for us that America has set to spring against on us as a people, sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers. Hmm. I don't have that on here. This is Mark 5, chapter 5, verses 6 through 10. I don't know why it's not up. However, it states, when he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and worshiped him. And he cried out with a loud voice and said, what have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? And I implore you by God that you do not torment me. For he said to him, come out of the man, unclean spirit. Then he asked him, what is your name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. Also, he begged him earnestly that he would not send them out of the country. Sisters and brothers, our nation of Islam is demon possessed. The chief demon recognizes the messenger of the covenant. The chief demon recognizes Suleiman. The chief demon recognizes Joshua, the Messiah. The chief demon recognizes Daniel, the prophet. And the chief demon knows that the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, Joshua the Messiah, the lamb, the lion from the tribe of Judah, is exposing him with the spirit of his mouth in the brightness of his coming. So much so, the chief demon said, I implore you by God that you do not torment me. Why you torment me? He's exposing Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, who has turned the NOI backwards. Now, sisters and brothers, we're going to bring the scriptures and what's taking place in the real world, the reality, the America and their laws. We're going to give a clear, detailed understanding from the unsealed scriptures and reality in who and what the scriptures are saying and who they are identifying with radar, with biology, pinpointing exactly who's being spoken on without a shadow of a doubt, because the scriptures are in detail, multiple scriptures, all pointing out exactly who this devil, this legion, this chief demon is. Sisters and brothers, as well as their plan to deal shrewdly with us and how they attempted to get away with their plan. However, the unsealed scriptures, the messenger of the covenant, has given us in detail the plan. So we are aware of the plan far in advance. So, sisters and brothers, you must understand the plan so that we can be aware and utilize the information and knowledge to be successful in eluding or planning to ahead to thwart their plan. So we're going to be successful in overcoming their plot, because we will be aware of all that they plan. Now, sisters and brothers, excuse me. All right. Now let us go on to this. It says, he said, come out of the man, unclean spirit. Then ask him, the demon, what is your name? And he answered, my name is Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds. NOI backwards. Who have turned the NOI backwards? For we are many. Also, he begged him earnestly that he would not send them out of the country. Sisters and brothers, Louis Farrakhan, his student ministers, those that are with him, share that they're not going nowhere. They share with us that we're not going anywhere. He tells us that God is a lie, that the scriptures is lying. Matter of fact, he refuses to read the Abrahamic covenant. Why do he refuse to read the Abrahamic covenant, sisters and brothers? Because he knows that the covenant of Abraham does not apply to him. He knows that it applies to the seed of Abraham, and he understands and knows that he is not the seed of Abraham. He is the seed of his devil father. And that is why he consistently shares that God is about his heart. It's not when the scriptures directly share is Abraham's seed, but it's his heart. Devils ain't devils no more. In his words, this is what he teaches. Now, sisters and brothers, we're going off of scripture. I'm not going to put a direct time on it. We're going to just speak on this and get it out. With this understanding of this, their plan, their plot, their scheme to, their plot to attack us all. Sisters and brothers, from the scriptures and from their words, from their laws, from what they have put into existence, put in place to keep us from recognizing who we are. Their laws in real time of how they are moving to apply their attack on us. Sisters and brothers, all the scriptures and reality, everything is all happening and being witnessed and seen at the exact same at the same time, because the scriptures are being lived out. So now the scriptures are occurring, the unsealed scriptures are occurring in real time. Sisters and brothers, now the supreme wisdom lessons shares with us what is a devil. Answer: a grafted man, which is made weak and with wicked. So this grafted man is made weak and wicked. Another thing in that, he says that the children of Israel are mightier than than us. Letting you know that they're grafted, they're weaker than us and wicked. Now, or any grafted live germ from the original is a devil. It's going to be weaker than the original. It's grafted. You can These these things are easily done now in grafting, in the grafting process of plants. Now, sisters and brothers, and can you reform devil? Answer: no, all the prophets have tried to reform him, devil, but were unable. So they have agreed that it cannot be done unless we graft him back to the original man, which takes 600 years. So instead of losing time grafting him back, they have decided to take him off the planet, who numbers only 1 to every 11 original people. Now, sisters and brothers, again, their judgment, the time of judgment, is sharing that we are taking them. Listen, instead of losing time grafting them back, they have decided. Who is they? We have decided to take him off the planet. So he knows his time is up. He knows that our rise is against his existence. Where we are an existential threat to their reality, to their existence. Sisters and brothers, our rise is their destruction. These are reasons of their actions, of their plans to get rid of us. They understand that the scripture shares with that they wait a minute, let me say it like this. Because I don't want to say they understand the scripture. They know. Consequence. What they don't. Because that's like saying this man is made weak and wicked. However, sisters and brothers, they understand who we are. They know from 2020 coming in with the plague what that meant. Sisters and brothers, false Israel celebrates the Passover every year. Now, sisters and brothers, the celebration of the Passover is the celebration of the Passover of the plague that killed the firstborn of Egypt. They celebrate this every year as to say they were passed over by the plague. However, when the plague actually happened, when the time actually came about 2020, when God's or Abraham's seed, God's chosen people, 400 years really came about or ended, and the plague came in, false Israel understood exactly what the plague was, because it decimated the firstborn of their nation, of this Caucasian, they all around the world. And they witnessed the people, they understand the people who the plague passed over. So this is, sisters and brothers, these are signs of the time. Letting they know that this gave them the knowledge of their time is short, that the judgment had to begin because they have been plagued by what they call COVID-19. And we were passed over. Sisters and brothers, what did I just read? Excuse me, sisters and brothers. Okay. I want to lead from afar you ran to worship him. And he said, what have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? Okay, I must have did it twice. Now, sisters and brothers, we just gonna go straight through it. And we'll just bring it together as we go. Thessalonians 2:3-7. And it states, let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Sisters and brothers, the first line shares with us, let no one deceive you by any means. So the first thing we would say, well, let nobody deceive us about what? It's telling us not to be deceived. Let no one deceive you. So the first thing we should be looking for is, what is deceived by what? Because the scripture said, do let no one deceive you by any means. For that day will not come unless the falling away comes first. So the falling away has to come first. So let nobody share with you anything else. Don't be deceived, because the falling away will come first, and the man of sin is revealed after the falling away comes first. The son of perdition, the son of hell, the son of the synagogue of Satan. However, those things will not happen until the falling away took place comes first. Now, sisters and brothers, the falling away is the Nation of Islam being beheaded. The leadership of the Nation of Islam was beheaded, had no leaders, and the Nation of Islam was liquidated and destroyed by Legion, Louis Eugene Brown, who's turned the NOI backwards. Listen, because all these things is easily proven, easily. The scriptures, the details in the unsealed scripture, in the scriptures, is so detailed that a fool cannot err. A child cannot make an error. Only someone that refuses the haters of truth. Demons, that their nature is to lie. They can't go against, they know that their nature. They're following their nature. Sisters and brothers, the Nation of Islam fell away. Louis Farrakhan and Wallace destroyed the Nation of Islam. Louis Farrakhan did not take the leadership role when when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was taken. Now, he allowed Wallace to take leadership of the Nation of Islam when Wallace was already kicked out, banned, from the Nation of Islam by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for teaching other than the supreme wisdom lesson, for adding in teaching what he learned in teaching Sunnism, Al-Islam. Now, sisters and brothers, these things, what the scriptures share with us now, the Nation of Islam was no longer there. Louis Farrakhan and Wallace started a whole nother faction, a whole nother group called the Balalians. Louis Farrakhan was Wallace's head imam of the Balalians. They got rid of the Nation of Islam, started the Balalians. They sold all the assets, stole all the money, sold all the, liquidated all the assets of the Nation of Islam, of the members, because Elijah Muhammad didn't have any of those things, the nation assets in its name. They were in the name of the members, in the name of the nations. The nation was the members, and they allowed Louis Farrakhan and Wallace to destroy and take the Nation of Islam. Now, these are facts that can be proven. Louis Farrakhan didn't take leadership of the Nation of Islam until or after the falling away took place. And after the falling away, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition. Now, we're going to get into that son of perdition, the man of sin, and the son of perdition. However, let's look at that. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away come first. Louis Farrakhan says, and his student ministers say, they say the same thing. He said they repeats it on a regular that they're exposing the false Jews or the synagogue of Satan and causing them causing them to fall away. Now, that's saying it, and that's saying the exact opposite of what the scripture is sharing with us. So they're saying, it said, now it's telling it, the scripture is saying, do let no one deceive you by any means. For the falling away will come first, but in their whole explanation, in their whole narrative, they're saying the exact opposite of what the scripture shared will happen in the order that the scripture said it was happening will happen. They're saying it in the opposite order. So the scripture shares with us, let no one deceive you. So it's telling you that this man of sin, this son of perdition will be telling you the opposite. He will be trying to deceive you and share with you that the falling away, some like he's saying, that he exposed the synagogue of Satan and caused them to fall away. That's the exact opposite. Now, sisters and brothers, the man of sin is revealed after the falling away. The son of perdition. Now, let's do this. Let's do this. Hmm. I wanted to do. All right. So the man of sin. What? What is the color man? We don't have it here, but the Supreme Wisdom lesson say the color man, the Caucasian white man, is the Caucasian white man, or Yaku's grafted devil, the skunk of the planet Earth. Is it what? That's not verbatim. Who is the color man? Who is the color man? The Caucasian white man, or Yaku's grafted devil, the skunk of the planet Earth. Now, sisters and brothers, what is devil? Answered, a grafted man who is made weak and wicked. So we know that this man of sin is weak and wicked. He's the son of hell, the son of perdition. He's from the synagogue of the Satan. Now, so, and can you reform a devil? Answer, no. All the prophets have tried to reform him, devil, but were unable, so they have agreed that it cannot be done unless we grafted him back to the original man who takes 600, which takes 600 years. So instead of losing time grafting him back, they've decided to take him off the planet, who numbers only 1 to every 11 original people. Sisters and brothers, you cannot reform a devil. However, Louis Farrakhan, who is the seed of a devil, is sharing with us that he is able to reform a devil. Now, sisters and brothers, none of the prophets were able to reform a devil. Now, this demon, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, who's turned the NOI backwards, who father is a Caucasian white man and a Jew, shared that is telling us that he can reform a devil. Sisters and brothers, the lies, he lies just like his father, the devil. They're liars from the beginning. There is no truth in them. He says the opposite of Scripture. The Scriptures say that no one deceive you by any means. But he tells you the exact opposite of what the Scripture shares. Then he shares with you, with us, that he's going to reform a devil. He shares with us that God is a lie. God is lying to us. We're not going nowhere. We're staying here in the land of our affliction. However, sisters and brothers, Legion, the chief demon, begged Jesus to know to to don't send him out the country. Did we just read that? He begged, Legion begged to to not be sent out the country. What is Louis Farrakhan sharing? That he loves America. He don't want to see America go by the way of Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon. He wants to save America. He wants to make America great. When the hell was America great? Louis Farrakhan say we're cursed black. We're nappy head, ugly, big nose, and we our hair should be like our eyebrows. Then we cursed. We're sinful. We need to atone. Listen, sisters and brothers. This is what the chief demon is sharing. But he's a demon. He's a crafted man who is made weak and wicked, who he can't be reformed because he's crafted. He's a devil. So he can't be reformed, so he definitely can't reform another devil. Now, sisters and brothers, what does America, hold on, we're gonna walk through all this. Yeah, we're gonna walk through this because this lets you know what the scriptures share. It calls him the hired servant, the hired servant. We're gonna explain. We're gonna show you how we know scripture lets us know he's hired. He was for hire. He's employed. He's employed by the government of the United States. He's employed by the synagogue of Satan. He's employed by the House of Saudi Arabia, the Sunni Muslims. He's employed by he's a hired servant. The chief demon is Louis Farrakhan, one who is not a shepherd and does not own the sheep. No sooner sees the wolf coming than he leaves the sheep and runs away, and the wolf worries and scatters them. That's what Louis Farrakhan done. He didn't stand up to no one. The wolf, he stand up to no one, and he joined the wolf. Then He ran away from the wolf and left the sheep, and the wolf scattered the sheep. The Nation of Islam was scattered. Wallace, they the members took off, getting away from getting out of there. He got rid of the all of the assets, everything the nation, everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as well as Master Farah Muhammad, built, put together. And the hired servant ran off, which he shared. Louis Farrakhan, the chief demon, shares with you. He never believed. He never believed in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was God. Was the messenger. He believed that Master Farah, that Prophet Muhammad was Allah's last messenger. He believed he believed that the originator is the God. He didn't believe in no Master Farah Muhammad. He shares that. He shared that Master, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he will be his biggest hypocrite. He said he his heart dropped to his stomach when he was told that. Sisters and brothers, let's move on. We ain't gonna keep it because we got a lot to go through. Beware of false prophets. This is Matthew 7:15, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly, they are raving wolves. That's a demon. In sheep's clothes, this is what the scripture, unsealed scripture, this is what the scriptures is calling a sheep in sheep's clothes. That means he got black skin. He's coming in the original man's clothing. In his skin. But inwardly, in the inside, he's a wolf, a raving wolf. He's a Caucasian white devil in black skin. He's a raving wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay. Let us. I'm gonna hold it now. Before we go to that, we're gonna go back and finish this out, sisters and brothers. Then we'll make it go into our next. Now, so we know he's a grafted man. You know he's a devil. Know he's of the synagogue of Satan. That's where we was going. Happy I said that. All right. All right. Now, all right. Now, it states he's the man of sin and the son of perdition. Now, he's the son of his white Caucasian father, who is a Jew of the synagogue of the Satan. So he's the son of perdition. He's the son of perdition. He's the son of the synagogue of Satan. He's a direct seed. He's from the direct line of a Jew. He's is sometimes I can say it. I just said it. He's a Jew. Louis Farrakhan Legion, Louis Eugene Brown is a direct seed of, he's a direct son of the synagogue of Satan. He's the son of perdition. That's now. So this is elementary. This is 1, 2, 3 ABC type thinking. Because this is how easy it's, you can't go scientific, biological fact that you are what your father are, is what your father is. He is of his Jew father, Jewish father. He's of the synagogue of Satan now. Okay, sisters and brothers. Now, which clearly brings us to this. Louis Farrakhan is a black-faced Caucasian Jew. This is fact. He's the man of sin. He's weak and wicked by nature, and he's the son of perdition, a son of the synagogue of the Satan. And where is he? What is he doing? He's calling himself God. He's telling you he is better than, he knows more than God. He's calling God a liar. He's calling the scriptures a liar, a lie. He's telling you what he's saying is the truth. But the scripture is giving you detailed understanding of exactly what he is and who he is. He's the man of sin of the synagogue, the man of sin, the son of perdition. He's the son of a, he's a direct descendant of the synagogue of the Satan. Sisters and brothers, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. This is simple. There, his student ministers are saying he's got the heart of God. He's Jesus. He's this. He's Jesus. He knows. He God speaks through him. Oh, he exalts himself. He tells you, I'm a young God. He got, go look. He's out there. He said he's a young God. He knows. He calls God a lie, and he opposes his own in himself above all. Where is he now? The scripture tell you what would he be doing? So that he sits as God in the temple of God, claiming of God, showing himself that he's God. What is his student ministers saying? That he is God. He has the heart of God. God is speaking through him. what he says. He's sitting in the temple. He's sitting in Elijah Muhammad's seat in the temple of God, claiming that he's God. And the scriptures tell you exactly who this one, who this devil, who this son of a devil, who this man of sin, who this son of a Jew is, son of the synagogue of Satan, and where he's sitting at. You can't make up none of that. These are facts. And who's sitting there? But Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds. You know who Legion is? You know the son, the man of sin, the son of perdition. All these scriptures give a detailed understanding of who this one opposing him and exalting himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, in God's temple, in Master Farah Muhammad's temple, in Elijah Muhammad's temple, in Master Farah and Elijah Muhammad's seat, showing himself that he is God. Sisters and brothers, this is easily understood. Now, he's a hireling. He's hired. Now, let's get to this. We'll get to that. Now, sisters and brothers, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that. Now, sisters and brothers, in this is a DOD documentation. DOD Directive 5240.01 that was put into effect on September 27, 2024. This is what America moved into effect to carry out against American citizens. This is what a document, an objective that they've implemented so that what's on the document they can utilize on American citizens immediately. Now, the document is given the right to use lethal force it says assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable. Reason in any situation where it's reasonably foreseeable that providing the request assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations which a confrontation between civilian law enforcement or civilian and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Now, they're given access to use lethal force from every branch of policing, from the city, state, to the federal, the use of military. Now, we're watching all these things being set up, and we're told from the scripture that they're planning to attack us. They're dealing shrewd. They plan to deal shrewdly with us. So this plan here, this is they a DOD, Department of Defense document that they put into effect on September 27, 2024, which is a little over a year ago, going on 2 years in September. It'll be 2 years. Now, sisters and brothers, this is what they've used to set up ISIS. Excuse me, not ISIS, ICE. And they're using to um, set the military in the cities, in black communities. They're policing the cities. They're preparing to use all agencies against all blacks. Now, sisters and brothers, how do we know this? Now, this is the counter pro, the FBI counter pro. The U.S. government war against dissent. Note the following is a text reproduction of original original FBI documents. Now, personal attention to all official director, FBI. Officials receiving copies of these letters are instructed to immediately establish a control file caption as above, and to assign responsibility for following and coordinating this new counterintelligence program to an experienced and imaginative special agent well versed in investigations relating to black nationalist hate type organizations. The field office control file used under the program may be maintained in a pending inactive status until such time as a specific operation or technique is placed under consideration for implementation. Now, the purpose of this new counterintelligence endeavor is to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of black nationalist hate type organizations and grouping their leadership and grouping their leadership membership spokesman membership and supporters, and to counter their propens- propensity for violence and civil disorder. The activities of all such groups of intelligence interest to the Bureau must be followed on a continuous basis, so we will be in a position to promptly take advantage of all opportunities for counterintelligence and to inspire action in instances where circumstances warrant. The promiscuous backgrounds of each group of such groups, their diplo- duplicity and devious maneuvers must be exposed to public scrutiny, where such publicity will have a neutralizing effect. Efforts of various groups to con- consolidate their forces or to recruit new or young, youthful, and aid adherents must be frustrated. Okay, now I'm just gonna put this up there. The opportunity should No opportunity should be missed to exploit through counterintelligence techniques. The organization and personal contact of the leadership of the group, and where possible, an effect should be made to capitalize upon existing conflict between competing black nationalist organization when one opportunity is apparent to disrupt the neutralize black nationalist hate type organizations the corp through the cooperation of established local news medias, instant local here we are contacts, or through such contacts with sources available to the seat of government. In every instance, careful attention must be given to the proposed to ensure the targeted group is disrupted and not merely pu- public publicized. Consideration should be given to techniques to pre- preclude preclude violence prone or rebel what is it rebel rouser leaders of hate groups from speak from spreading their philosophy publicly or through various mass communication media. Many individuals currently currently active in black national organizations have backgrounds of immorality, subversive activity, and criminal records. Through your investigation of key agitators, you should endeavor to establish their unsavory backgrounds, be alert to determine evidence of misappropriation of funds or other types of personal misconduct on the part of militant nationalist leaders. So any particular protocol or warrant counterintelligence may be instituted. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Okay. I can't do it like that. I gotta do it like this. Okay. Okay. Intensified attention under the program should be afforded to the activities of such groups as the student nonviolent coordination committee, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Revolutionary Action Movement, the Deacons of Defense and Justice Congress of Racial Equality, and the Nation of Islam in particular, emphasizing emphasis should be given to extremists who direct the activities and policies of revolutionary or militant groups such as Stokely, Carmichael, H. Rap Brown, Elijah Muhammad, and Maxwell Stanford. At this time, the Bureau is setting up no regular, no requirement for status letters to be periodically submitted under the program. It will be incumbent upon you to ensure the program is being afforded necessary and continuing attention. Okay, let me see. I got off afforded as necessary and continuous attention, and that no opportunities will be overlooked for counterintelligence actions. This program should not be confused with the program entitled Communist Party USA Counterintelligence Program. Internal Security C, baffle, which is directed against the Communist Party and related organizations, or the program entitled Counterintelligence Program International Secretary Disruption of Hate Groups, Baffles 157, which is directed against Klan and hate type groups, primarily consisting of white memberships. So this is telling you that this what this counterintelligence don't got nothing to do with white, the Klan, and none of that. No, that they not looking at them on this. It's specifically talking about all all black groups. So, okay, so all right. Now, all special agent personnel responsible for the investigation of black national hate type organizations and their membership should be altered to our counterintelligence interests. And each investigation agent has a responsibility to call to the attention of the counterintelligence coordinator suggestions and possibilities for implementing the uh, the program. you are also continue to continue that you are also continue that the nature of the new endeavor is such that under no circumstances should the existence of the program be made known outside the bureau, and appropriate within office security should be afforded to sensitive operations and techniques considered under the program. So you have to read the rest. This is, sisters and brothers, letting you know these are documentations of the government and what the government has implemented implement implemented against all blacks, against um, any type of organization that we as a people build, or any black organization. Now, um, I don't want to go into the next part. However, I have to go into that. It All right, sisters and brothers, let me see where we are on time. Oh no. Now, so um sisters and brothers. So we're witnessing what the scriptures is sharing, and what this devil is setting up to carry out against us in real time. His plan that they plan to attack us. They have been dealing with us truly. They have a shrewd plan that they have designed. However, we're aware of this plan. So, sisters and brothers, now we understand that they have one of their own sitting in the Nation of Islam, claiming that he's God, claiming that he's speaking to God, that he's representing us, and he's calling God a lie. He's turning the scriptures around, and the scriptures share with us this man of sin, his biology, his he's scientifically his biology is a devil. He's the son of a devil. These things are what the scriptures say. Who will be sitting in the seat? A man of sin, the son of perdition, a son of a false Jew, the son of the synagogue of Satan. These things can be easily proved with who Louis Farrakhan is by nature and where he is sitting in reality, in Elijah's seat, in the temple of God. And he's telling us we're not going anywhere. He's begging, as Legion did. He wants to stay here in America. He wants us to take reparations instead of our vision, our reward, of our land. We've already went through the Holocaust. Why would we sell our birthright for a measly bowl of goddamn soup? In the hell, in the place of in this land of our affliction. Why would we do that? Why wouldn't we go home? ASAP, sisters and brothers, this is what's taking place, and this can this is where we at right now. We're witnessing. This started out as the abomination of desolation, a war in the Middle East. We're witnessing right now, sisters and brothers, what? The war that occurred in heaven. That's what we're witnessing. Michael and the angels of him going of him of the to war with the dragon, and the dragon warred and the angels of it. And not it proved strong. Not but place was found of them, yet in the heavens, and when it was thrown the dragon, the great, the serpent, the archaic, the being called devil, and the Satan, the making to air, the being inhabited whole, he was thrown into the earth, and the angels of him with him. Sisters and brothers, we're witnessing the war in heaven. We're witnessing America, Britain, and false Israel be brought down, being destroyed. We're witnessing their economies going to crash. We're witnessing where we will see false Israel siege and destroy. So let's do this. Let's do this, sisters and brothers. My bad. Let's do this. I was okay. Now we're witnessing Iran and Syria. Michael, who is Master Farah Muhammad, at war with the House of Saud, Saudi Arabia, who is sitting on our land, Britain, America, and false Israel. These are the four. These are the nations that openly gathered together and entered into the war against Iran. Now, sisters and brothers, you see, Syria is being spoken on again. What's taking place in Syria, how things have been set up to block um, false Israel from just doing what they want to Syria territory. Now, sisters and brothers, all these things, and every day as America, Britain, and false Israel um, finds themselves everything backfiring on them, they're just going to keep getting more aggressive, more um, defined, more um, angry and violent by the day. They're killing babies, women, and children. Sisters and brothers, America is going to attack us all. The scripture said this is their plan. This is what they plan to do. They don't want to let us go. They don't want us to leave America. Sisters and brothers, America is going to attack us before false Israel is destroyed. They have it set. This is the trap that they are trying to employ, release on us. Sisters and brothers, they have they have ICE facilities ballooning up all over America in black neighborhoods. You can't look in them. You can't record in them. They don't answer to anyone. You don't know who's in them in these facilities. They don't need a warrant. Nothing. They can just see your color, see who they're looking for, see your color, and move. And that's what they're planning on. This is their plan, sisters and brothers, to attack us all. Now, mm, sisters and brothers, Louis Farrakhan is an agent who is working for multiple. He has multiple. He's sold bought by several. The Sunnis. He's bought by the Sunnis. He's probably bought by false the synagogue of Satan. He's other synagogue of Satan. He where he shares with you. He's a Mason. So he's a man of sin, sisters and brothers. Where the scriptures share who he is. Gives us puts a radar, put him right up under the microscope, biological, scientifical, who he is. Exposes him. Sisters and brothers, we're at war. America is planning to attack us all. But they're going to attack all blacks before false Israel is destroyed. Sisters and brothers, false Israel will be destroyed first. America and Britain and the House of Saudi Arabia is going to be kicked out the Middle East. This is what you're witnessing. And when the next confrontation begins, it is America, Britain, and the House of Saudi. This is not going to de-escalate when this next wave of attacks begin. You just don't know when. You know they're going, but you don't know what day. We don't know when. when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Sister and brother, they're sharing that they're contemplating nuking, using nuclear weapons against Iran because they can't find an uh, 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 effective um, plan to achieve their objectives. So they're coming. When all else fail, false Israel already has that in the play to commit the Samson Act. That means to use nuclear weapons. However, sisters and brothers, when they try to use nuclear weapons on Iran, that's when you will see the God Master Farah Muhammad and his ships go into motion, and they're going to take the nuclear threat out of existence. Now, sisters and brothers, this is what's taking place. This is what we're led. Scriptures are all the unsealed scriptures. By all the scriptures of the Bible are being carried out as we speak. The judgment of America, the judgment of this world, God's chosen people still in the land of their affliction, being brought out of this land, this sojourn, being they're going to be taken back to their land. We're in unprecedented times, a time like never before. We will be going through tribulation, sisters and brothers. We have to unify. We have to flee, come together overnight as a mighty army. Unify as one body, one mind, one soul, as one body, one nation. We must get our minds, our angel mind, and use the 5 pillars. Sisters and brothers, together with the angel and the 5 pillars, nothing can come against us, will harm us. However, sisters and brothers, I'm going to bring this to an end. Again, America is going to attack all blacks, attack us all before false Israel is destroyed. So when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, what's Jerusalem? That's when it says, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that its desolation is near. What it say? Okay, here we are. Oh, well, I wonder why I don't see it. When you see Jerusalem. All right. However, sisters and brothers, we're going to bring this to an end. Here we go. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then recognize that her desolation is near. Her destruction. Who is Jerusalem? Where's Jerusalem? That's false Israel. When you see her surrounded by armies, know that her destruction is near. Sisters and brothers, false Israel will be destroyed first. Know that. know that they're masquerading as if they're the true seed of Abraham. That that escalade es that religious eschatology and this that lie that it's coming down first. It's going to be destroyed. Now with that, I'm gonna greet you as I came in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers.